No, youngster, great question. I mean, the reality is this: the pay-per-view model is done, and thank God it's done, right? ESPN took over, and the pay-per-view pays conspicuously went up and up and up, right? To the point where, like, I was blacked out from buying them, right? I'm not in poverty, and I still couldn't watch them, right? I'd go over to friends' houses. And then, as a natural cause of this, people start pirating. I had been offered a few of those Latino pirating things and never got it done. And I finally got one in there, and it works great. Like, I watch all the boxing, I watch all the UFC. And the reality is, with streaming, is that essentially a pay per view model is dead, right? I wonder if boxing is going to give it up too. I think. Turkey Al Sheikh said something about going on the Zone or whatever it is that DAZN that's been a really big boxing channel. So to that end, listen, I'm really happy. Look, Dana didn't do it for us, right? Dana doesn't do it for the people. Dana's in it for the money. Dana's a normal human being, right? He wants to be even richer than he was. I'm sure he wants to be a billionaire himself. But at the end of the day, he saw probably the numbers dwindling for him, even though the pay per views were charging more and more because pirating was so absolutely rampant. I don't know about anybody else, but my particularly pirating agency got hit the night Canelo fought Berlanga and Sean O'Malley fought Marab in Noche UFC, I think that was, right? But yeah, they double hit like so they could protect the profits of that. And I actually had to run over to my friend's house in the neighborhood real quickly and watch it because otherwise I was going to be out completely. Never did see Canelo Berlanga, but I saw the UFC that night at least. But yeah, man, I mean that's good for the sport. It's good for the fans that we can finally all watch it. And look, boxing owes a big debt to the UFC to making combat sports so popular that they're everywhere now, and it really raised boxing ship. I mean, pretty ironic when you consider boxing guys considered UFC guys phony and fake and not a real sport and everything else. And the reality is, in the end, it's really, really helped them. I mean, how did Al Heyman raise $400 million from hedge funds? He pointed to the UFC and said, hey, my sport's been around longer. We got more depth and we got more money involved. So, invest in me. And that hasn't gone too well for the hedge funds. But then Turkey Al Sheikh, Saudi Arabia is trying to buy legitimacy effectively, and they're doing a great job of it by becoming, the number one broker of boxing matches in the world, right? Fights that couldn't get made before because greed and the differing sides are getting made because Turkey Al Sheikh is stepping in and putting so much money in everyone's pockets that no one's refusing to fight. At the end of the day, right, everybody has a price. Everybody just wants to get paid. And unfortunately, greed stops a lot of that. But with Al Sheikh around and Saudi Arabia pushing, and now Dana coming in and working with them, the first fight will be Crawford versus Canelo. Yeah, man, the sky's the limit, and I'm all for the end of the pay per view era. It ended for me a while ago anyway. I wasn't buying them anymore. Everybody read my book, Warrior of the Light.